too good to be true. Thank you, God. Thank you for making it possible. And this was the light that we had passed on our way through the tunnel. And Archana is waiting for me, so I will make our way up. Archana, any comments on your visit?
I want to stand on top of Europe and say, I love you, Daddy! And I love you, Mommy! I just want to say that.
As we came up these stairs on our way out, we were astonished by the sight of this sumo wrestler. I guess because they get so much of Japanese tourists, it is but reasonable to have a sumo wrestler in ice, cut out, all set to probably go for a fight. Has got good muscles, I can tell you that much. Anyway, so we are on our way out of the Ice Palace, and it's been an unforgettable and memorable visit. There again, Archana threading her way across the tunnel. I mean, some of you may think that this is not real, but I swear all this is ice on top, on bottom, on the sides. Everything is plain ice. We just can't touch it.
Except for us, everything is ice. Yeah.
Yes. And if we stay here for long, even we'll become ice because it's freezing.
I don't know where this leads. I'm just going through.
We've just come out of the Ice Palace, and this is the exotic sight that greets us. We are outside now. It's about minus 4.6 degrees centigrade here at this moment. It was put inside. You can see ice on top of me. There's cold wind, and as we make our way up, Archana is going ahead and I'll be following her. I don't want you to miss any bit of this journey, and we'll be going behind Archana. Archana first said she's not going to come outside, but then I guess these are things which you don't get to see ever in life. That's the terminus, the photograph of which you might have seen in many magazines. And I mean, can you actually believe that we are here? I can't for one sure believe that I am so close. Yes, I want to stand there, but Archana, can you believe that we are here?
Thank you very much.
I'm going to take our bag and go there. Being on top of Europe, some people take pictures, some people...
या ना कर, तू हाँ कर या ना कर, तू है मेरी अर्चना, तू है मेरी अर्चना. La 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 la.
I think that's enough.
La 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 la.
That's enough.
La 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 la. you do really feel that because of places like this, I mean, when you come to places like this, rather, you do really feel that you got closer to God. If such a place is possible on earth, then God must be definitely there. It's it's a dream come true. It's everything. I mean, it's everything that one could ask for in one's life.
I want to say something. On top of Europe, it's a very sentimental moment for me and Raghu. And thank you, God. Thank you for everything. And thank you, Daddy. If it wasn't for you and for your upbringing and for your values and for everything that you taught us, if it weren't for that, we wouldn't be here today. And thank you, Raghu, for working so hard.
You shouldn't thank me. You should thank only God.
And but for your efforts also, we wouldn't have been here. Thank you, Ma. Thank you very much. And it's a great feeling to be here. But I really miss all of you very, 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 very much. And thanks and God bless. I've been thanking God, I've been thanking my father, my mother, but I've not forgotten, and I've not missed out. It's just that it didn't strike me for a minute. But I must say that more than anybody else, I want to thank Sadhana Auntie. I really love you and thank you so much for getting me somebody so wonderful in my life. And but for your efforts, I wouldn't have met Raghu and I wouldn't have come here.
Sadhana, thanks
so
from
much.
Sadhana, thanks from me also, because I am shooting it, so I can't be in front of the camera, unfortunately. But all the same.
And I think she's one person who's after my parents for me. Shivanand uncle also. And I love you both, and I'm saying it on top of Europe. Thank you so much.
And we really wish Sadhana and Sivanand come here one day.
Yes.
And they'll definitely will.
Yes.
We are right now on our way to the Swings Terrace. And Archana is feeling a bit out of breath. And you've got a high-speed lift. So here we are, as we go, there it is, the official declaration of Archana being on top of Europe. We have a lone visitor here with us, right on top of Europe. Very cute, isn't it? And just look at the sight from here. We are actually on top of these mountains. It's snowing here. I mean, that's why we are pretty scared to first take a recording. And actually we are on the clouds. You can see down below. This is the observatory, meteorological observatory. And just look at the sight all around. There, another beautiful sight for you. Well, as you can see, the date is 8/9/97, and we're just preparing to go out for dinner, though it's a bit too late, but then
This is Bern, the capital of Switzerland. one of the views.
We have just strolled and reached the Cathedral of Saint Pierre in the old city of Geneva. It's absolutely peaceful, calm, and quiet out here. And as I take you around, you can have a look. There are people relaxing, and the old elegance of the homes in Geneva is quite evident. There you can see Archana also tired after her long walk, relaxing. On one side of the cathedral is the home of the saint, still preserved in its splendor and grandeur of the old days. There looks absolutely magnificent. The sound of the bells is a sheer delight for the ears. It's quite soothing, quite nice. And look at those flowers on the windows, which is typical of almost all the houses in Geneva. A really beautiful city. A magnificent view of the raising stars over the church. Just look at the intricate work. Beautiful colors on the roof, formed by the tiles. There you got a more complete view of the Cathedral of Saint Pierre.
One of the first visitors to Geneva was none other than Julius Caesar. He arrived in Genoa more than 2000 years ago to block a massive exodus of Helvetians who served as a buffer against Germanic tribes. The Place Bourg de Fort, which you are seeing now, this public square, the oldest in Geneva, has become the in place to meet in the old town. From the vantage point of its charming 18th century fountain, you will see tiny antique shops, bistros, and outdoor cafes. To the east is the Palais de Justice, first a convent, then a general hospice. This building has housed Geneva's judiciary power since the middle of the 19th century. You can see restaurants and in a few moments some of the antique shops in this Place Bourg the Fort.
From the Bourg de Fort, the Rue des Hôtels de Ville leads to this 15th century building which houses Geneva's parliament. In the adjoining Baudet Tower are the offices of the Council of State. We'll be going on the cobbled ramp which at the end of the 16th century facilitated the ascent of dignitaries on horseback. It follows a spiral course, but rather than curved, it is square-shaped. On the ground floor, in the south wing, added in the 1700s, is located the Alabama Room, named after the so-called Alabama dispute between the United States and England and its international arbitration held in these localities in 1872. However, the historic significance of this particular site had already been established 8 years earlier through the signing of the first Geneva Convention on the Red Cross in 1864.
This is the cobbled part that Raghu was talking about, and it really looks very beautiful.
We are now at the Arsenal. Opposite the Geneva's Parliament, take a look at the old Arsenal.
Just 1 minute. This is the Geneva Parliament. You can see the flags, and this is the Arsenal.
Built in the 15th century as a granary, it became an arms depot in 1720 and today houses on its second floor Geneva's state archives. In the covered outdoor area, you will see 5 original cannons from Geneva's artillery dating from the 17th and 18th centuries. The 3 mosaics on the back wall represent the arrival of Julius Caesar in Geneva, fairs at Bourg de Fort during the Middle Ages, and the welcoming of the refugees. Now we are in front of the Arsenal, and what you see in front of you is the Maison Tavle. This is one of the oldest private house in Geneva. Though actually dating from the 12th century, the current facade looks the way it did in the 17th. Since 1986, Maison Tavle has housed the Museum of Old Geneva. Over several floors, it traces the history and daily life of the Genevois from the 14th to the 19th centuries. What you see in front of you is a letter from President Bill Clinton dated September 29, 1994 to the restaurant owner in Geneva, which says, "Thank you for the wonderful book of photographs of Hillary's and my visit to your restaurant. It is a great souvenir of a memorable visit and a superb dinner to your beautiful city. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. Sincerely signed, Bill Clinton." And guess who's having a lunch here today? Why, of course, it's Archana and self, who's of course doing a bit of a recording, so I can't appear in the video right now. But don't you think the restaurant is located beautifully? Up this road is the cathedral. You can hear the bells. And of course, on this side you just had a look at the Arsenal. So we are now having lunch in a beautifully located restaurant in Old Geneva, where President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have also dined.
We meet you again at the Geneva Lake where our journey started, and today is Sunday, and you can see everybody is just having a great time. And look at the number of boats that are sailing. This shows how rich the people here are. All boats are owned by people, not rented out. So you can imagine how rich this place is. Look at that, look at that. I just wish we also had a boat. Anyway, maybe not a boat, maybe a ship. As Raghu was a naval officer. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I really don't have anything else to say after this wonderful trip to Switzerland. And we're grateful to God, we're grateful to everybody for having made it to this place. Everybody in the sense are our parents, and especially my dad, because he kept recommending Switzerland to us, and in fact bugging me over the phone that he wanted us to go to Switzerland. So thank you, Daddy, thank you so much, and thank you, God, for making it all come true. And we end this fabulous trip with a view of the Geneva Lake Fountain. See you then, bye. I'm sorry that I ended it because we didn't know that we would be definitely coming here. This is the headquarters of the United Nations, and we are here now. Can I find the United Nations for you now? There's no boat to say that, but at least you find the flag there. We're now walking to gate 39, where we will start the guided tour inside the UNO. We're just starting the tour now. Oh my God, I can't believe this.
For the people who participated in the conference, that means the delegations, which had about six, sometimes six delegations every conference. And to your right, that is reserved for the journalists. More than 200 journalists cover the informations which are taking place here in Geneva. Geneva is the center of International Press Center here in Geneva. And that is the cabin you see that is reserved for the simultaneous interpretation in 6 languages: Arabic, English, Spanish, French, and Russian. And that is a place reserved for the countries who are not members of the United Nations. Do you know countries who are not members of the United Nations?
The wooden structure that you see is from Italy. The floor is from, the carpet is from Philippines.
So that is, it is very easy now to see how the UN are made. The UN is made up of these 6 main organs. You see the oval, which are attached to 16 specialized agencies and 20 wallet programs created by the General Assembly. That is in French, it's very hard to use. Demo. If you want to go to tour the park, no problem. I will show you the way out, and you can have. That is for the headquarters. That means for New York.
Gift from Switzerland.
For the UNICEF, for the specialized agency which tries to find solutions concerning children. And there is a child representing that we have to take care of children. That is the message of Switzerland. Above all, we have to protect children. For example, Perez de Cuellar, before Boutros Ghali from Peru, and that is from Sri Lanka, who was the Secretary General of the different organization. We call it UN for Commerce and Trade.
Me? Yeah.
There is a room for all, as you read it. Germany wants to express to the whole population of the world that this is as major of world and the others, that is people, animals, and all of creation of the earth, that inside it is empty, and Germany wants to express that there is a place for everybody to stay together.
Blend.
Three elements. Do you know these three elements?
Air, water, and
Fire.
fire.
Okay. And that one represents the bird.
Bird.
Represents peace. Okay. That is
Argentina.
the government of the People's Republic of China. Okay, and just try to pay your attention. The entrance of the temple moves with you. It is always in front of the one who looks on the doors. Okay, if you move, it moves with you.
This is a gift from China, and the speciality is when you move, the door moves with you. Say, for instance, we're moving now, but the door is towards me. Yeah? Wherever you go, the door is facing you.
I can assure you, nobody is inside here. You can see it. Nobody is here.
This is the older part of the United Nations, and we're going into it now. Korea.
Which was given for the 50th anniversary of the United Nations 2 years ago in 1995. And it presents, as you see, different images and different colors of the world of the United Nations. The library of the United Nations, which was built in 1919, but since 1936 here in Geneva, which was founded as the biggest international library of the world. Okay, for Geneva, for the League of Nations. For the whole library, we have these big pillars here. That is from Sweden. And for the wall covering is from Finland. And the marble in black and white is from Belgium. Okay, we got two here, one here and the other here. Places reserved for the public and the press. It is not used it is only used for about 3 or 4 conferences where are 2,000 people. It is not used at the other conference rooms. Green organization for the ecologists or something. And with the different organizations, regional organizations for Europe, Africa, Asia, and other countries. The parents of the child, the parents is representing the protection of the child. And that is a gift from. He wants us to represent that the money is created by the image of God. And that is a gift from the town of Tobe, which is in Japan, for their efforts concerning to preserve environment and peace and security all over the world. That is the great work of Japanese artist Monsieur Shirakata. Okay, fine. And if you want to see the word, here is a great work for peace in which, do you know Robert Cecil? He is from Britain. which was one of the greatest. The second one is the social progress of the mankind, the great victory of mankind, of mankind. Okay?
Right.
Technical, social, and scientific. And those three stages of humanity is represented by the picture which is over there, representing hope, and the child represents the succeeding generations who will never know wars again. Okay, behind you there is two curtains opening. The left is the winners of the war, and to control the same weapon. The weapon is which you see the Archana over there. They are trying to find solution by controlling the same weapon. The last step is represented here, over here. Those 5 continents joining their hands by the sign of solidarity.